to TJD Movie Reviews, episode 41. We watched Black Christmas.
I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.
Did you want me to just go into a summary of this movie?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Well, this was my pick. It's a 1974 horror movie directed by Bob Clark. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. Is that a surprise to either one of you?
No.
No?
Not
Okay.
at all.
But the movie revolves around a sorority house that a serial killer has snuck into the attic of. And one of the girls goes missing, and the movie is kind of about them trying to locate where this girl is while they're getting obscene phone calls where someone just makes really kind of disturbing, violent noises, kind of. And yeah, it's about them trying to figure out where the calls are coming from and looking for their friend.
Yeah, I agree with all that.
Would you add anything to it?
No, I think
No?
you summed it up pretty well.
Okay. So how did we feel?
I think it was an okay movie. I like it has a cult status, and I think it's
fine.
deserving. No, it's better than fine. It has a
Okay.
cult status, and it's deserving of it. It has a creepy element to it. I mean, I'm sure the 2006 film is better because
Oh.
everything that's new is better.
I'll kill you tonight. I will kill you. It can't be better. I mean, Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah.
That's probably better.
I was gonna
Her,
say-
she's better.
She is better.
Even acting-wise, she's got to be better, I would think. She was Harriet the Spy.
Wasn't she also in Eurotrip?
Yeah. She was arguably the best part of... Well, that's not true.
No, Eurotrip is
That's a solid movie.
It's a vastly underrated film.
Oh, I don't know about...
Vastly
I don't know about
underrated.
vastly underrated. I didn't know anybody when that movie came out that wasn't like, oh, Eurotrip. Let me touch your feet. Like, yeah. But I also do a lot of retarded people. I said it.
Can we
I
go?
didn't even mean to say it.
Can we go one pod? One.
We did go a couple.
Yeah, I know.
I did say it in one of the, like the past 2 or 3. I remember saying it. Yeah. All right, so I got a pro. I think the atmosphere is good in this movie.
It's very. I know this movie came before Halloween, but because I saw Halloween first, that's how I'm going to compare it. Very Halloween-esque, very POV from the killer's, eyes, tense, kind of sickening, and yeah.
And this movie is kind of credited as being the first to do the killer perspective, but that's not true. There was actually another movie, I think it was called Peeping Tom before it, but I would say that this movie, it's one of those, it should have popularized it before Halloween, but Halloween was just so fucking huge that it kind of gets credited with doing a lot of stuff.
Point of view as well. So, like the shower scene, you see the person walk in and pull the curtain back. Even the stair scene kind of comes from the killer's point of view.
Yeah. I don't know, that's one of those things that Halloween always gets credited
Oh,
with.
yeah.
And we've talked about, was it Stir of Echoes? We all talked about, like, we love Halloween. I love Halloween.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I just think Halloween kind of gets a little bit of extra praise that I don't know that it really earned.
Do you think it was because it was so popular and it kind of overshadowed everything else?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it isn't the movie that originated those techniques, but it is the one that made it known to the public, basically. But, yeah. I don't know, that this movie did it 4 years earlier, and those movies did it.
I mean, I'm sure it didn't help that the female lead in Halloween was a lot better than the female lead in this fucking film.
What? Jamie Lee Curtis is better than this girl?
Yeah, seen.
Yeah.
We didn't realize we'd actually seen this actress in a different movie we've done before. She was the.
And we actually mentioned how terrible she was.
Yes, so that was quite funny after the film is done, and we're like, oh, she was in It, and she was the wife.
She was like the worst one.
Yes.
Is her name Olivia Hussey?
Yes,
yeah.
yes, it is.
So my parents knew immediately who she was because I actually watched this with them, and my dad was like, "Oh, Romeo and Juliet," like he kept saying that. I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But apparently, you know, if you're around our age, your parents probably know who this girl is for some reason.
I actually saw that Romeo and Juliet as well. We watched it in our English class. So
How was it?
From what I remember, it wasn't bad. But I probably fell asleep. It was like, oh, it's Romeo and Juliet. I know what this is. And also, there was one part our teacher had to hold up a board over the TV because she's naked in one of the scenes.
I was gonna say, I read a thing that she was topless, and it sounded a lot creepier than I intended. You talking about that reminded me of high school where we were reading Othello, and I talked my English teacher into letting us watch O.
Oh, gosh.
And it was a lot more awkward than I thought it was going to be. Because she was kind of like, hey, Jake told me about this movie, and all the kids are kind of like, okay.
And they probably not watch it then.
And they had all like seen it. Well, like I like that movie, but like there's a part where he's fucking Julia Stiles pretty hard, and like the teacher's just sitting at the desk, and we're all just kind of like, is this happening right now?
Well, I have a story.
A fact to this.
I have a story kind of like that. I worked for an after school program back in college, and we every so often would have a movie night. So the kids from the community could come in, they watch a movie with all of us. Usually we try to keep it PG. Sometimes we'd go PG-13. And this film is PG-13, and I found it out, and that shocked me. Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And shocked the hell out of me. I was like, how is that PG-13? And they're like, yeah, so it should be fine.
Refresh my memory. What happened in Forrest Gump that was...
She sings in a bar naked.
Drug use.
She has sex with him and other men.
Wait, she was naked?
Yes! That's why he kept trying to cover her up, is because she was naked on stage.
No, I don't remember
she had
this.
That acoustic guitar in front of her whole body. You don't remember that?
Did you see stuff?
I think you saw her. Maybe her breasts,
okay.
but
side boob.
Yeah.
Which when you're 11, that's enough.
Yeah. Oh, and then guys losing limbs left and right in that battle scene.
Yeah. Blood. Lots of blood.
Yeah. I mean, and then a lot of cursing. I think he gets called a fag at one point too, and
allegedly.
Well,
I mean, it's documented.
Yeah. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff actually happens in that film that I was like, what? I think the N-bomb gets dropped a couple times, and it's just like, all right. How's this a PG-13 film?
I mean, I watched Mekhi Phifer buttfuck Julia Stiles with my teacher.
Wait.
So...
I actually have never seen O.
Oh, that happened. Did you see it?
No.
Wait.
Oh my god, I'm the only one that saw this movie?
It was anal?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
I didn't watch you actually put it in the whole... Ty, do you understand how movies are made in Hollywood?
No, I mean...
And there's the true TJD charm.
I'm pretty sure it was simulated. I mean, I can't confirm. I could call him later. But I don't have his
Are you sure
number.
they didn't use the lead pipe?
I mean, they weren't porn stars, so they wouldn't use a lead pipe. I still don't understand my logic there.
I don't either.
Like at the time, in my head though, I'm like, if it was porn stars, they'd use a pipe, because that's their line of work. But it's still a pipe. Like that's pretty hardcore for a porn star. It's not my smartest moment.
Anyways, why didn't you watch the regular Othello with what's his name, Lawrence Fishburne?
I don't know, because Josh Hartnett was an O, and he was so hot at the time. Remember Josh Hartnett, like
Allegedly.
2005? He was killing it.
Yes.
He did Hollywood Homicide, with Sean William Scott.
He did
Lucky
40
Number
Days and
Sliders.
40...
Harrison Ford or whatever it was.
Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
He also did 40 Days, 40 Nights.
Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down a couple years earlier.
Oh my gosh, I love Black Hawk Down.
Dude, everyone's in Black Hawk Down.
I know.
Like, you go back and watch that, you're
Like,
like, Jesus Christ.
Orlando Bloom shows up for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Tyrion Lannister.
Ewan McGregor.
Or, wait, Tyrion? Who's the blonde one?
Jamie?
Jamie. Yeah. No, the blonde one that isn't a midget. The Lannister that fucks his sister a
With the
lot.
lead pipe?
Who's
Yeah.
the one actor who like became a raging alcoholic and has his own porn site?
Oh, Tom Sizemore.
Yeah. I like how you knew what I meant.
I was a subscriber to that
Yeah, I was
site.
gonna say, it's bookmarked.
I'm a co-founder. No, I remember when that happened, and yeah, that was weird. It's like the only time I can think of like someone who was kind of respected in acting at the time. Just, hey, I'm gonna make a porn site because fuck it.
Yeah, why not? You know that guy from Hogan's Heroes would have as well. Didn't you hear about his like dirty laundry or something? Like he had a bunch of like he filmed himself having sex with a bunch of different women.
That's good.
So
That's what you want.
Even if you're Hulk Hogan, you just eat a cheeseburger.
or
Is
if
that
you're
what he did?
David Hasselhoff.
yeah. No, well,
What did Hulk Hogan do? He's like, I'm so fat.
Oh, he's eating roast beef.
Roast beef, that's what it was. Yeah.
God, I'm
Hasselhoff
fat.
was eating the cheeseburger in the shower, drunk off his ass.
That's what
I never needed to see a bare ass Hulk Hogan standing in the corner of a room eating a roast beef.
Well, now you know you did it.
Merry Christmas.
I mean, I finished, but I'd already downloaded the video.
It would have been a waste of $1.99.
Yeah, we're getting. Oh, I didn't pay for it. You think I'm classier than I actually am?
Oh shit!
Not gonna use that bandwidth for nothing. We're gonna at least one nut.
Can I say something that I liked about this movie?
Yeah, if you want. Hulk Hogan's not in this movie.
You mentioned the atmosphere and just kind of the way I don't know, everything kind of falls into place, making it so creepy. The shots in this movie are really interesting to watch on screen. Just the slow pans to some of the stuff, like they're looking in the rooms, or when they're showing the killer, or just I don't know, just those shots. They seem so personal,
Mhm.
like. They're just really creepy.
Yeah, it's very reserved about what it wants to show,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll just kind of let it be a slow burn until the shit hits the fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the pacing's good too. Like,
Yeah.
It starts right away, dude.
Yeah, you got your first kind of here's all the girls in the house, and the first girl goes upstairs, and we got a movie. Like it's going.
Yep. I think it would add a little more tension if it had all been in one night.
Yeah,
And it seems like it goes over 3 days. They say 2, but I really think it's 3 days.
I think it was 3.
So
See, why didn't Hook take a page out of that? So he had to dick around for
Julia Roberts.
40 minutes in America and then flying over to Europe.
God,
I mean,
Julia
couldn't-
Roberts.
Couldn't Hook just abduct the kids right away and bam, you got a movie?
Let's get down to this abduction.
Yeah.
So everyone wants is an abduction. The acting is pretty bad. Not by everyone, but like the main girl is pretty. It's just awful. But we knew that already. Her boyfriend, I didn't really care for him.
I didn't think it was terrible.
He wasn't as bad as her, but Margot Kidder is like probably the best. But her character just annoyed the shit out of me.
I'd say even she was hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. It's a horror movie. Like,
Yeah. And Margot Kidder was still 4 years away from Superman yet, so. But my favorite character was the house
The house mom.
house mother, thank you, and her alcoholism. And I think she did a great job. She was fun to watch. She was funny. So
Literal crippling alcohol problem.
Yes.
She was not able to function unless she was throwing some back.
And she had him hidden all over the house. And it was just funny seeing her try to find him from spot to spot. And then she like finds one. She's like, it doesn't drink itself. And then it's empty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was like brushing her teeth or whatever, and then she's rinsing her mouth out with bourbon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she fishes one out of the toilet. And yeah, that's pretty bad alcoholism.
I don't see anything wrong with it, but
Oh, really?
actually I do. It's awful.
Fucking Scott Stapp over here.
Scott Stapp.
Can you get me drunker?
I never actually saw that. Like I saw clips of it, but I never saw the whole like.
Oh, he was fucking. He was
living in his
unreal.
car at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, he got kicked out of Creed because he was so drunk. Like, Creed.
Well, they are a religious band, which a lot of people didn't know. I didn't get how they.
Oh, it was pretty thick.
I know, but like in the last year, I talked to 3 people who did not know Creed was a religious band.
I will say this: at the time that was popular, I didn't really pick up on it.
Mm-hmm.
But granted, I'm not your average church-going person, so like, yeah, I just kind of took it at face value.
Higher.
And I'm like,
So, what was your favorite band?
I actually liked Creed a lot.
I enjoyed them for their first 2 albums, and then I kind of got tired of them.
And I've heard Alter Bridge isn't bad, but I never listened to it.
I have an album. I'm not gonna lie.
And
I have 3.
They're okay.
they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I had their first 3 albums, and then I was like, I'm done.
Their first 3?
Yeah.
Creeds.
Creed's.
Oh shit! Creed had 3 albums.
Yeah, I think so. There was Human Clay, Weathered, and I think one other one.
Holy shit.
Was Human? Wow, you know the names.
Human Clay had Higher, and then Arms Wide Open.
Was Human Clay the one that had the cover of the giant like statue thing?
Like it was coming out of the ground.
Yeah, it looked like the thing out of the Linkin Park music video. For what the fuck is the end? What was it? What's the name of the song?
I don't know.
Linkin Park, their first like big hit.
I think I know what you're talking about.
In the end, yeah.
But
that
in the end, aren't they like on a giant skyscraper or like Space Needle and looking down or something?
Yeah, but there's like a gargoyle.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. In the 90s, we had an obsession with like statued creature things.
Mm-hmm. Is that why Gargoyles was so popular?
I don't know why Gargoyles was popular, to be honest. It was the last time Disney tried.
It was that guy from...
It's Keith David, right?
He was the main one. But I was talking about the guy from Star Trek The Next Generation. Riker. Commander Riker. He did the voice of the guy who like found the gargoyles in the future.
Oh. I did not know this.
Yeah. I feel bad because I actually used to know his name. Like Jonathan Frakes. Is that it? Or...
Maybe. That sounds like a Star Trek person.
Okay. All right.
I don't know where we go from here.
Do you know Arms Wide Open is about, his wife being pregnant?
Really?
Yeah. 6 Feet Under is about him being dead and being buried.
I didn't know they had a song called 6 Feet Under.
Mm-hmm. Or, well, I think it's
6 feet
from
the edge.
Yeah, 6 feet from the edge. Yeah.
Scott Stapp got all of his vocal training from
Pearl
Eddie
Jam.
Vedder.
Yes.
There were
there were a couple... there were a couple bands from the 90s that sounded exactly alike.
Yeah.
You had Pearl Jam. Who The Calling.
The Calling.
They had that one song, If I Go... Or, oh, shit. What was it? Wherever You Will Go.
I don't know that song.
Oh, come on.
Do you?
This is the Creed podcast.
Well, Well, no, now it's The Calling.
Who the fuck is The Calling?
They're one-hit wonders.
That no one's heard of in this room except you?
Oh my gosh. It's played
Is
all
it one of
over.
those, if I heard it, I'd
Yes.
be like, oh.
I'll play it for you. Do you want me to play it now?
Yeah, do it now. Well, actually, no, we might get a copyright strike, so save that shit for later.
Like, if I could, then I would. I'd go wherever.
Oh, if I could, then I would.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
I remember that
Copyright
one.
strike.
It's not even him.
But it just sounds so much like him.
Is it weird that I'd be, like, honored that that happened? I'd be like, they thought I sounded close enough to copyright strike us. And then I have to go through the nightmare of trying to get that taken off. I don't finish sentences.
Anyways, back to
Black
to
to Christmas. Pro, I think this movie's genuinely fucking creepy. I'm creeped out by it. Like, I think the way that they did the phone stuff
Mm-hmm.
is, like, it... I don't know. For someone that hasn't seen it, the way I'd explain it is, you know that it's going to be weird, like, right when it starts. Like, the first phone call, it starts weird, but they get progressively weirder and, like,
Mhm.
unpredictable. Like, you don't know what the fuck's going on, really. You don't even know if it's one person, because he's changing his voice. He's talking about, like, Ed, and Billy and Agnes, and,
Mhm.
like... There's a weird, like, backstory that you could kind of almost piece together.
Which
if you...
they go into in the remake.
Oh, God. I don't need any of that shit. No, I'd rather just... I like that it's ambiguous. Like, there's a character, like, at the end of the movie, it's kind of a spoiler, but you don't really know anything about that guy.
Yeah.
You know that... I mean, I don't even know if his name is Billy. Like, the fans, over the years, that's just what they call that character. The bad guy's Billy, but, like, he's talking about an Agnes. He will imitate an old woman and mention the name Ed. So, like, you don't know if he's coming from a weird, like, broken home type thing. You don't even really know what he looks like because you don't see him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you see him once in a dark room, but you don't see enough to be like, okay, like, that's... it's kind of like Halloween, to be honest, where at the very end, Michael's mask comes off for just a second, and you kind of get a look at him. But I would argue that you get a better look at Michael Myers in that movie than you do with this character.
You get a good vision of his eye.
Yeah.
But other than that...
And that, I'd call that scene alone probably... Like, I'll get out of the way right now. That's my favorite scene because it... kind of just catches you off guard, and it's unsettling. Like, that's the scene that sat with me the most after I saw the movie, is like, it was just so fucking weird. Like, I don't know, like, do we want to say, like, well, let's just say the main character opens a door and finally sees everything that's been going on, and you're like, you know, the way that they set the whole thing up, you're like, get the fuck out of the house. Like, you're already doing that before this happens, and then you hear the Agnes, and you see his eye through the slit of the door, and you're just like, holy shit, dude, like, get the fuck out of this house. I just love that scene.
Which, we had debate over this. To me, it's a con, and this is a horror movie trope, is a person not doing what you should do. They say, get out of the house, you get out of the fucking house.
But how can you call it a con if it's a horror movie trope? Like, that's a common thing.
But not all the time. Like, personally, like, you're thinking to yourself sometimes, like, just get out of the house, but the person doesn't. This person was literally told to just get out.
Okay. This person also didn't know that any of her friends were not asleep. So you're saying that if you got a phone call after, let's say it's the exact same situation, your phone rings and the cop says, get out of the house right now. Your friend just went upstairs and went to bed. You're just going to take off?
She did yell at both of them.
Okay.
If you hear somebody yelling and you're upstairs sleeping, hypothetically, you're probably gonna say, "Huh? What?"
So
Something.
so you're upstairs in bed right now. We're in your house, Drew.
Yeah.
You're upstairs in bed, and I yell down here. Are you gonna wake up? Be honest.
If you yell down here, how loud are you yelling?
Let's say I'm louder than normal. I'm trying to get your attention, but I'm not outright screaming.
You might get my attention.
Okay, let's say that I did scream, but I'm not.
I didn't hear you.
Well, I'm saying, do you really think that you would hear that if you're in a dead sleep?
I'm kind of a light sleeper.
Well,
I'm not.
one, I get like Margaret Kidders is in a true deep sleep. Phyllis, the other girl, she wasn't going to bed. She's like, I'm just going to go check on her. That's literally what she said. She didn't say she was going to bed. She just was up there.
Okay.
So she should have known, hey, she just went up there. She wasn't going to bed.
So you're saying that the moment your friend didn't acknowledge that you had done something, you would have just turned around and left?
Because I would have waited for, like, if a cop says they're on their way, I'm waiting for there to be extra people.
But you have someone in your home. Like, do you get what I'm saying? So you would bail on your friend and let them possibly get murdered? You would live with that for the rest of your life?
But what if they were already dead?
But you don't know. That's
You
the
don't know
thing.
how many people are in the house
she
either.
she gets the fire poker because she needs to find out. I don't blame her for going up. A, because it's a horror movie trope. That's what you're here for. That's part of the horror movie ride. And B, because it kind of makes sense to me. You thought your friend went up there, something might be going on. Maybe she thinks if she catches him off guard, she can fucking kill the guy. Like, I don't know. She at least went up there armed. Will you give her credit for that?
Yes.
Okay.
But
Because, yeah, had she walked up there with absolutely nothing, you're a fucking idiot.
Other people go up there with like a flashlight and be like, "Hello."
Yeah, but me personally, I wouldn't call it a con. You can call it a con if you want.
I wouldn't call it a con. I would just call it a piece of story. Plus, you got to think about like how many other like big name horror movies like a Halloween or I don't know, like how many of those would you say had come out prior to this?
not many.
No.
Not a lot. So like you're kind of being the trendsetter here in terms of
It was this and Texas Chainsaw were like, they're kind of credited as being the starters of the slasher genre.
okay. So you're kind of even setting
So
like, a
Psycho
trend
was?
here.
Psycho hadn't existed yet?
Well,
Psycho was in the 60s.
Well, Psycho was an anomaly too. Like that. Like there was nothing like it. Like that wasn't a genre really. They were just like, this Hitchcock movie is scary, but like they didn't like horror wasn't a thing.
Mhm.
Like yeah, that is what started the whole thing. Everything pretty much follows that, but it wasn't let's do this because
You're not getting tons of horror movies out
Yeah.
in the theaters every
like it's
year.
not an official genre. It was just a story.
I mean,
he
because
told
you
that
had
was-
some horror films, like all the way back to the original vampire film.
Nosferatu.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm talking slasher. Like,
Yes. No, slasher didn't really exist.
And if you call this I mean, yeah, I don't know what else you would call this. I guess it's a slasher, but it's a slower moving one.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it's more akin to a Halloween than like a Friday the 13th, where people are like, Friday the 13th was built around how are they dying.
Yeah.
Like that was its shtick.
The thing I like about this movie though is like it's genuinely one of the first horror films known to me that you know where the killer is the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not like a Scream or like a Friday the 13th where you don't know where the killer is. He could be hiding anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, he's in the house. You know he's in the house, and people are just interacting in the house, acting like everything's fine while people are getting killed.
I'd call that a pro, because it makes you like the first time I watched it, it made you genuinely uneasy.
Yeah, it's unsettling.
Because you know something that everyone you're watching, like literally every character has no idea that that's going on at the time.
I was thinking of something. I hate the final scene, like the final credit scene is nice. But like that whole setup for how that final thing is set up for the credit scene was just idiotic to me. Like that was just like, we're gonna write it this way, it just ties everything together.
I wish that they had thought of a better way to do it. I'll meet you halfway. I understand where you're coming from, because do we want to even say? We probably don't want to say.
We don't have to, I don't think.
Let's just say that. Like, how do we even word that and still be somewhat informative? They're just going to be confused. Talking about them like they're not there. I'll have to cut this. How do we talk about that? Because we don't want to be like, oh.
So, there's a situation that arises where a character, let's say, is on their own.
And shouldn't be.
And shouldn't be.
And in terms of how people in real life would respond to something, they wouldn't be.
Yeah.
And that's what's a little bit odd.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's kind of, and it happens really fast too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel if they had maybe added another scene or something to kind of break up how quick it happens, but it's literally, hey, later.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of clears out, and you're like, no. Like,
no, yeah. This is not how this would happen.
Yeah.
I have an issue with that final scene.
But I would almost argue that the credits made up for it.
In a sense, but at the same time, I think it kind of fails in what he meant to do. He said he meant to leave it ambiguous, but it kind of fails in that sense too, I think.
I mean, I don't know, I guess it would depend on how you define ambiguous. Like, he didn't come out and say, this is what happened. But you can pretty much surmise that it ends one way.
Yes.
That's about it.
It's not like Inception where did it fall down? Did it not? You know,
fell.
If Jake's certain. But it's ambiguous because you're like, wait, did it move? Did it not? And here it's ambiguous because I don't think you see it.
You don't see anything?
But you definitely can tell.
That would also hinge on whether or not that cop knew what he was talking about.
Yes,
because in the 70s, how are you going to know, really? Like, maybe, but would he know that quick? It's one of those, he might just be... Because the other thing is the same cop said that somebody did something and you know that they didn't. So it's kind of an unreliable narrator, sort of.
Yeah.
So I could see it being argued both ways. I think it could have been more ambiguous, but I thought it was... I thought the ending was fine. In the good way, not the bad fine.
Not the Jake fine?
Yeah. But I agree. The setup for it, could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he was like, how do we get this to happen? This is the easiest way.
And that's why the remake is so much better. No, I read you that ending. That remake sounds like garbage.
That ending sounds fucking horrible for the remake. But does Michelle Trachtenberg get naked?
I could not tell you.
Probably not.
Come on, nobody gets naked in this movie.
Pro, though, to that, Margot Kidder is holding a naked poster.
Yeah.
At one point. Why? I don't know.
Because she's the dirty girl.
Yeah, she was like reading Playboy or something like that.
Yeah. I was like, why is Margot Kidder reading Playboy? Shouldn't she be like having a Burt Reynolds fold out?
So much hair.
Did you see it?
No, I can just imagine. 70s Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, I know. looks like a fucking Sasquatch.
A luscious Vita hair going from his chest to his ball fro.
Ball fro. It's a good word. What's a couple words? I'm gonna grow a ball fro.
Jeez.
This is stupid.
Are you imagining Burt Reynolds' ball fro
Yeah,
now?
I kind of am.
Like old Burt
It's
Reynolds or
impossible
young
not
Burt
to.
Reynolds?
Today, Burt Reynolds.
That's not
He
good.
calls it
Yeah.
the Bandit.
The Bandit. It's right under my... Yep. Right under my Smokey. Had a joke, but I fucked up the
I was going to
delivery.
say, I think all the white hair now is called his Smokey.
Yeah.
Oh, God. That dude's getting more action than I am. Guaranteed.
Oh. I think Burt Reynolds would have played well in this film.
As a what?
I don't know.
As the house mom.
Yes. Mrs. Doubtfire before Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, my God. All right. Pros, cons.
Another kind of con dealing with that same thing. We were saying the setup. How does this whole house not get searched?
Especially with that chick missing and they never
Yeah.
found her body.
Would you search the attic of a house, though?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
If you're cops and there's a body, you're searching everywhere.
So you think if cops came right now, they'd search your attic if they were looking for something?
Yes.
If there had been a murder at my house,
They didn't know that there had been a murder. They just knew a girl wasn't around.
okay, at the end of Black Christmas, they know that there are several dead bodies in the house. They also know that a small child had been murdered in a park close to the house, and you have a girl missing. The cops are combing that fucking house.
So you're talking the very end.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe they hadn't gotten around to it yet.
No, I don't fucking buy that.
No.
No fucking way, man.
Maybe they're bad at their job.
Well,
That I believe.
All right, then. I rest my case.
You're Harvey Birdman, attorney at law. I rest my case. You made no point.
The cops are bad at their job.
Oh.
I know cops that are bad at their job.
Yeah?
I mean, not personally.
Oh. Jeez.
I'm not going to name names, but
Oh.
I mean, they exist, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure there are some cops who are not very good at their job. There are regular people who are not good at their own job. There are terrible teachers out there. So.
Well, maybe these cops just happen to drop the ball a little bit.
Just
Whoops.
a little bit.
Just a little bit.
I mean, you even
I
there
mean-
there was one other dead body outside the house as well. So
Here's the other thing, though. They did comment that they hadn't even cleared all the bodies out because the local morgue
they
didn't
said
have enough space.
no, the local hospital didn't have enough space. They were sending him to a morgue.
Okay. So, like, maybe they were just in the beginning stages of searching the house?
No, but then
Think
But-
of how quick, like we were just saying, how quick that ending just kind of slaps itself together. And then,
but you still have several cops roaming this place. It looks like they have one.
yeah, he was waiting out front.
They are combing everywhere in there. It's an all post bulletin to this house.
It was the 70s.
I don't care if it was a different
We
time.
were a little more laxed.
Oh. Dealing with that ganje.
Ganje?
Yeah.
Ganje?
Yeah. Ganje.
Is that like Gone Girl?
Ganje West? Ganje. I mean, they work. I mean, you could crack a beer in a police station, so something's going on. And you can also kind of offer to blow a cop and he's too stupid to realize it. I would have.
You would
I would have let.
That statement just made this movie 10 out of 10.
I would have blown a cop. Go fuck yourself.
I'm gonna give a. Since you bought the new Blu-ray, I'm gonna give a pro and a con.
Okay.
This Blu-ray that Jake bought is basically remastered the whole film to 2K.
Yep.
Right. They're upscaling or whatever the fuck they did, the remastering. It looks beautiful for a movie done in '74. Like they brought it back to life. It's like the colors are vivid. Like it. I mean, it still has that grainy quality you get from. It's like if you were to watch it in the theater back in '74.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It looks gorgeous. On the flip side, a con I'd give it, and I'd probably say it's probably because of the era of the time. The sound. A lot of the times when it's really noisy and you get a lot of people talking at the same time, it becomes muddled with whoever's the focused person that's talking,
Mm-hmm.
and oftentimes it can become muddled and hard to understand. At least in my opinion, when I was watching it, I found it sometimes hard to understand because people were like, if that makes sense.
More coherent or less coherent than the Goonies?
What was the sound issues with that? I can't remember.
The kids are constantly talking over each
It
other.
it reminded me of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I would say it's probably similar, comparative.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'm really happy with the Blu-ray. I'd say kudos to Shout Factory for putting forth the effort to actually go get the negative and restore the whole thing. That's you don't see that a lot, especially for movies from 74 that are kind of just cult movies that aren't like huge.
Mm-hmm.
Like for Halloween, I could see that getting completely remastered, but no, I was happy they did this, and I would have picked this for Halloween, but I waited knowing that this was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And like I said, I think the audio thing was just it was a thing of the time. Like, I don't think there was really much they could have done other than, to quiet the sorority girls down or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of a directorial thing than
Mm-hmm.
anything. But as far as the editing, I really don't think there's anything they could have done back then.
Yeah. And I suppose they could have gone and digitally tried to clean it up, but I don't think I'd want that.
Yeah.
I would just want it the way that it was.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, I give them props. I like the sound. I like the look of everything. So there were even a couple times like you could tell, like maybe the negative was a little screwed up because like the colors on like half the screen
Mm-hmm.
would change from the rest of the other screen. So you're like, okay, there was maybe too much exposure or something. But I was like, oh, that gives it more of an authentic feel,
Mm-hmm.
like you're actually watching a reel to reel. And luckily in this one, this reel to reel, we don't have a gruesome death.
Yeah.
Like in Sinister.
Oh, yeah. Another movie that made me afraid of attics.
What is with you in the attic?
This movie instilled a fear of attics in me.
And windows.
Well, maybe the windows comes from this. It probably...
Or is it Bill Gates that made you scared of windows?
Well, I don't know. Windows 10 knows everything I'm doing all the time.
Really?
Dude, the other day... No, today. Okay, I'm not... You two know me, alright? I don't gamble or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, gambling's not my thing. I've done it literally one time. I played a slot machine. I lost money. I walked out. I was pissed. That was it. That's all that I've done.
You've made plenty of bets with me. At least once on this.
That's not... I mean, casino gambling.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm at work today, and I have a conversation with someone that talks about craps. Okay? And he tells me a little bit about craps. We have maybe a 10-minute conversation about it. I get on my phone, I think I was on Facebook, like a half an hour after, and I see an ad for a local casino that I've never fucking seen before. What the fuck is that about?
Because your microphone's always on your phone.
So I need to smash my phone right now?
Yeah,
Literally, when you agree to your phone, you agree to them being able to tap and listen to you. The only way they cannot hear you is if you take your battery out.
So they just... so even if it's off...
They can turn the mic on anytime.
And that's why your battery's always dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah,
Did
the
you know
only,
Bush did
No,
9/11?
God damn, you beat me to it!
You were going to do it?
but yeah, the only way is if you could take your battery out. Well, now all the phones
Allegedly.
are
Alle-
are getting to the point you can't even take your battery out.
Really?
Because iPhone, you can't change out the battery. The new S, when Samsung does their S8 or whatever, it's not going to have a battery option.
It'll just
either.
blow half your fucking head off?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Like CeeLo Green.
Yeah, I was going to say CeeLo Green. He got so much shit for that.
Was that fake?
It was.
Okay.
But he said he was like doing some promotional thing, and just that got leaked. And so it got blown up.
It's the only reason, like, okay, it seemed weird because he was watching, like, what is it, a CRT? Or not a CRT. Like, whatever style of security camera he was looking at was, like, super old and weird.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I don't think anyone would or what was it, closed circuit television? You know what I'm talking about?
Dude, I thought he was in the studio.
It
There was
looked
a
like a
mixer
studio,
board.
but, like, he had weird, like, security cameras set up. I don't know, something about that was strange. And then the fact that when it happened, he jumps out of the chair, that was what made it a little too over the top. And he acted like he got knocked out by it.
Yeah, he was on the ground
Like,
for like...
like had it just blown up and he, like, you know, maybe looked around or covered the side of his face, it would have been more believable. But yeah, when he fell on the ground and didn't move, I'm like, nah, that's not real.
Yeah, but he had to like issue a public apology and all that. So
He's probably lucky he didn't get sued by fucking Samsung.
well,
It was a parody.
if they make phones that don't explode, then you don't get just like Scary Movie 2, where the guy in the wheelchairs has one of the tires blow out and then it says Firestone, because at that time Firestone had like a year's worth of tires that blew out every time you put them on. So
Great movie?
no.
No.
If you don't want to be made fun of, don't create a defective product. Drew made an interesting point in this film early on. Why in the 70s were some women attractive and others not attractive at all in movies?
I think that was just back in the 70s. Like, you either dressed like a grandma or you were smoking hot. And I don't know, it was probably the clothes you were wearing or the fucking glasses you were wearing or the hairstyle you had or...
Maybe that's just how women dress, and your grandma just happened to be smoking hot in the 70s. You ever think of that?
No. It's definitely
It's not possible.
It's definitely not that, Jake.
It's not just the popular clothing at the time?
No.
What were they wearing that made them grandma-ish? A sweater?
The glasses, yeah, like just for the observation that one Phyllis lady, wasn't her name Phyllis? Yeah. That even sounds like an old person's name.
It was the fucking 70s.
She had that like that fro, the glasses, like the really saggy like turtleneck sweater or whatever the fuck she was wearing. Just was not doing it. And then you had the other girls that were like really attractive looking and were wearing glasses, like they were wearing bell bottoms, like their hair was straight.
Does he have something against glasses?
I think he might.
The glasses back in the 70s were atrocious.
Are they better now?
Yeah, much better. They're not those Coke bottle, like, thick-ass frames, or they either had those or they had, like, horn rim glasses. That was, like, all you had. I mean, there was
So Margot Robbie's wearing some Coke bottle glasses. That's a deal breaker?
If she took them off.
Nope. Gotta keep them on.
She doesn't have to take them off. Yeah, she's going to keep them on. She has a condition they have to be on at all times. She's got to see that micro penis. I don't know. Yeah, they have to be on or she's completely blind. She turns into a werewolf when she takes them off.
Holy shit.
I'm glad this is grounded in reality.
You know, stuff that happens. That's what girls tell me when they don't want to sleep with me.
They're like, keep your glasses on. We don't want you turning into a werewolf.
Yeah.
What is that movie? There's a movie where, like, a girl has these ugly glasses on. They take them off, and then, like, her face, like, one eye rolls up into...
Oh, you're thinking of Arrested Development.
Am I?
It's Kitty, the secretary, where Job's like, take off your glasses, and she takes off her glasses, and her eyes go like.
That was in Scary Movie 2.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
David Cross. She's
Yeah.
like those sexy eyes.
Yeah,
She
and
takes
he's
them
like,
off, and one of them goes this way, and she puts them back on real quick.
But
Katie,
yeah.
I could do it myself.
Oh.
Holy shit. I laughed harder than I ever should have laughed at that.
David Cross giving himself fellatio
And I probably still would laugh really hard at that.
and be jealous.
In the part where she's jerking off Malcolm's older brother. And it's Titanic reference.
I don't remember.
He's like, you gotta let me go. She's like, I'll never let you go. And then he blows her against the door.
Oh, that was the first one.
That was the second one.
No.
Because they're locked in the freezer.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
Hollow
you're
Man-
right.
Yeah, motherfucker. I know Scary Movie.
Yeah.
Sadly.
You're right. Yeah. That's where I got confused with Malcolm's brother. I was like, oh, you mean Hyde's older brother.
You know what's funny is you could probably show a kid Scary Movie 2 today and they wouldn't know half of the fucking movies that are being referenced because they're not that great.
Or half the references there. Like I said, the Firestone, they wouldn't get that.
No.
I got that because I grew up during that time.
Or that basketball commercial.
Oh, yeah.
The Nike basketball.
Hmm. Or the Charlie's Angels reference.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say the one I didn't understand because I don't remember the film. When like Cindy is in the red dress talking to Tim Curry, and then she like leans over. He's like, "Who won't understand?" or something.
Your wife?
Yeah, your wife, and it's one of the Wayne's brothers. But
I just came down here to get a banana.
yeah,
This shit is hot, right?
what movie are they referencing
That's
there?
that Michelle Pfeiffer movie.
Was Tommy Lee Jones or Harrison Ford?
Harrison Ford.
Gosh, what was that? Film?
It's not What Dreams May Come because that's Robin Williams.
That's a totally different film.
Yeah, that's about going to get your wife's soul from purgatory or something. That's a little heavier. It's not Along Came a Spider.
Nope, that's Morgan Freeman.
I'll name every other movie. It's I don't know. It's some movie I never saw because I didn't care, but I know that that's that movie. Fuck! Why would you ask me this?
Because I wanted to, I guess, fuck with you. I don't know.
Do you know it?
No, I'm looking up Harrison Ford's filmography right now.
What the fuck was the name of that movie?
What Lies Beneath.
What Lies Beneath.
Yeah.
I saw that movie.
How was it?
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember the first time I watched it, I thought it was okay. Isn't that Costner? Is Costner in that?
No.
Harrison Ford.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah, Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Catherine Town. Ooh, James Remar.
By the way, Ty, thanks for asking my Amazon Echo what fellatio means.
You're welcome. I thought it was worth it.
I was impressed that it knew. Like, it gave the accurate response.
Yeah, that's what it does.
Oh, see, can't you delete your history?
No,
Really?
no, my parents will see that.
Really?
No.
I was gonna say, I would feel bad then.
His mom's gonna come over and be like, "Echo, name last search result. You searched strap-on dildo."
Purchased.
Whoops.
Oh shit!
So we want to get into some facts.
I was gonna say we went to our scenes.
Yeah, I already gave mine. You two can.
Okay. I'm gonna go with a favorite scene, and it's going to be the scene where she's by she I mean Margot Kidder is like drunk off her ass, and in this cop station with the father of the original missing girl and another one, I think it's Phyllis. And she just being a dick, and Jake mentioned she cracks open a beer in this police station with this officer who's just a complete dumbass. He is. Nash, Officer Nash. It's just a moron. And she gives him the phone number and she spells out. She's like, "Oh, it's fellatio," and he's like, will you spell that?" She's like, yeah, it's a new area code or switch number. It's FE. So, so like how you do 1-800-collect, it's now FE is the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because she's in on the joke, and then it ends up coming back later when the main detective goes to call the house, and the other detective with him is already laughing his ass off because he saw the notes, and they start talking to Nash about what fellatio is, and they're laughing at how much of a dumbass he is for all this.
Something dirty, isn't it?
Yeah, something dirty, isn't it?
Gosh, I'm trying to think of a good one. I don't know. I would say I'd probably say when the house mom eats it. She's trying to get out of the house. She called a taxi because she doesn't have a car to get around. So a taxi shows up, and she's kind of been looking for a cat the past couple of days, and she hears a cat coming from the attic, where the killer happens to be. So she goes up to the attic. There's this ladder that leads up to the attic. It's not like one of those inclined ones. It's a straight vertical ladder that you climb up. So she opens up the hatch, and she goes up there, and she's kind of like looking around for the cat, and she sees the first girl that disappeared. She's been strangled with a plastic bag, and she's sitting in a rocking chair, and she's kind of terrified, and she kind of looks behind her, and she sees Billy with a pulley cable and a hook,
Mm-hmm.
and he just swings it right into her, and she gets sucked up into the attic.
I'm sorry, like with that scene, not that what she did wasn't believable, but probably what I would have done is I would have seen it and I would have just fell. I would have been so shocked. I would have probably let go of the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
or at least made an attempt to crawl down.
mm-hmm. I would have freaked out and tried to find somebody.
So that's another con for you.
Well, I'm not saying it's con. What she did is understandable. Like, she was like, what the fuck? But then, like, it just was weird that she, like, slowly turned around. I was like, why slow? Like, you don't know anyone's up there. So, why slowly look around?
Well, I mean, somebody propped a body in the corner.
Yeah, I know. But one extra scene that just was odd to me, why it was in the film, was the two search guys who showed up.
I think that was kind of like a weird attempt at a jump scare almost. Because, like, that dude's face shows up and you're like, what the... who the fuck is that guy?
I said that. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is happening? Also, I think it was there to kind of reinforce the idea of, like, hey, you're not safe. Like, lock your doors and your windows. And, was it Jess? Jess goes, literally, this is the only door.
Mm-hmm. It gives you a
locked in the house.
Little exposition into how
Because
secure they are.
that's why Phyllis went upstairs, was to lock doors and windows. So she wasn't up there to go to sleep. So, but yeah.
There, we want to lay down some trivia.
Sure, go ahead.
Steve Martin. This was one of his all-time favorite films.
Really?
Well, I don't know why I say was, is.
Yeah, he's not dead yet. I mean, 2016 taken a lot of people, but it hasn't taken Steve Martin.
Oh, they better not take Steve Martin. He claimed to have seen it around 27 times.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That's way more than I've seen it.
Elvis Presley was a huge fan of the film.
Yeah, I used to watch it every Christmas.
Yep, and so his family still does to this day.
Bob Clark said there were 3 voices used for the frightening phone calls. One was Nick Mancuso. The second's an unnamed actress, and the other's himself. And when they tried to figure out who the actress was, he said that the film came out 40 years earlier, and he couldn't remember.
Yeah.
So he just kind of forgot.
Because even Nick Mancuso, I think, had an idea of who it was, but even he was like, I don't know for sure. This is a shot in the dark. He named one actress, but I don't remember who he said.
They actually toned down the murders to make them more... They thought it'd be more effective if it was toned down and subtle than the way that they'd originally wrote them in the script. They pulled it off the air.
Yes.
They showed it on NBC during prime time, and yeah.
Then-
cut.
I don't know if it was uncut.
It was probably, there was some cut. Because, I mean, they used the word cunt and all that.
Because
so.
they deemed it too scary for network television.
The other thing they, along with that, 2 weeks before it was supposed to appear on NBC, there was a string of murders at a sorority house. Two girls were murdered, 2 were beaten nearly to death. Come to find out, the guy who did that was Ted Bundy. But anyways, the NBC affiliates in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama were allowed to not show it if they didn't want to because of what had happened at Florida State 2 weeks before it.
So it's kind of a discretionary thing.
Yeah, they're like, hey, if you want to show it, that's fine. If you don't, show this movie instead. And it was like Doc Savage in The Search for Something.
So Olivia Hussey, the girl that played Jess, took the role because her psychic kind of told her to. Yeah, her psychic said that it would be a successful and wise career choice.
And she fired her psychic.
And then she went and did it.
And she sucked at acting in both of those.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I do not like her acting at all.
I could tell.
Didn't you say something about the piano used?
Yeah, the music. I tried to tell you guys early on, like while it was super noticeable, or so you could at least listen for it. But I read that the guy that composed the music made these interesting songs. Well, they're like musical cues throughout the movie, but he did it by attaching like forks and spoons and shit to his piano, like so while it struck, it was actually hitting with the silverware to make this weird, like, I don't know, it's like echoey, but like it's a weird sound effect.
Well, you could almost tell at times, like, where like a piano chord had been struck, and then it sounded like a fork or a knife or something had run across the strings,
Mm-hmm.
to make it kind of seem like a broken harp or something almost. Like, it's really, really creepy and ominous.
Yeah, I thought it was effective. It sounded cool.
Mm-hmm. I would definitely agree with that. It gave a creepy vibe.
I guess the last fact I throw out is the studio wanted a different ending, and Bob Clark was kind of like, no.
They wanted more of a close the book ending, and he's like, no.
So he stuck by his guns.
Yeah. Just like the guy who did The Mist did.
Oh, you mean Frank Darabont?
Sure.
It's because Frank Darabont's the shit.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I thought that was Frank Welker.
Darabont did Shawshank. That man is God.
Oh, he did 2 Stephen King films?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then he did the first season of The Walking Dead. And did he do the second?
No.
Yeah.
I don't believe he did.
And now that show's gone way off the deep end.
Well, yeah, it lost a lot of viewers with the appearance of Negan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because a lot of people felt it was way too violent. So
Then don't watch The Walking.
Oh, you mean this mature rated show?
yeah.
You've been
about
letting your
zombies
fucking
and
kids
death?
watch?
Well, because I mean, I'm not gonna give it away, even though it's been out for a while, and I accidentally found out what happened. But
Oh, I know what happens.
yeah, what Negan does the first time he shows up. So
It was too brutal.
and who he does it to. The way it is portrayed is kind of brutal but
Is it not a mature rated television
it is.
show?
It is.
Have you seen Game of Thrones?
I've seen the first season.
You need to watch more than that.
I have the second season. I just have never had time to watch it. Anyways,
Ned Stark is my homeboy.
Beat.
I want a show about Ned and Rob.
Yep.
Low.
Yeah, Rob Lowe. Ned Stark and Rob Lowe. Make it happen.
Hear that, Fox?
No.
You make a bunch of other crap. Why not this?
Is Fox the worst station? Like,
I think CW can be pretty bad sometimes too, but
Think about how many
There's so many pretty vampires.
At least one of those shows is going off the air.
Which one?
Vampire Diaries.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's ending.
How long's that been dragging its nuts across
I think
people's
it's
face?
10th. This is its 10th and final season.
It's been on for 10 seasons?
Yeah.
How many diaries can vampires have?
Obviously a lot.
How long do vampires
Christ.
live?
Oh, that's true. I guess that was a stupid question. I assume it's being made with real life vampires, right?
Yes.
Yep. With real lead pipes and
I
everything.
mean, CW wouldn't settle for anything less.
Nope.
They're forking out the big cash for stuff. Yeah.
Stuff.
Whatever. Stuff.
Do you want to do reviews?
Yeah, Jake, go ahead. Start your review.
I love this movie. I watch it. I try to watch it every Christmas. Now that I have a Blu-ray, that'll help because this is kind of hard to find. It was on Netflix streaming for a while. I don't know if it is anymore. I think it's up on YouTube, but the quality's probably not great. I'd recommend the Blu-ray. I think the atmosphere, like the pacing, the acting's not great. I agree. It could have been better. But I don't know. I think it's just a compelling horror movie. Like, you have to think about the time and what had already been done. And in terms of, you know, that time period, it was kind of revolutionary, I think. It really pioneered a lot of other filmmakers to kind of borrow the same ideas or the same techniques and make it more arguably widely accessible to people, like the POV shot that Halloween kind of gets all the credit for. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a Christmas classic. But I watch Gremlins around Christmas time because I'm kind of fucking twisted like that. So I'd probably give it an 8.5.
You want me to go?
Go for it.
Yeah, this is my first viewing of this. I remember when the remake came out and then saw how horrible the reviews were for it, and I was like, well, I mean, obviously the original probably wasn't that good then, and they just tried capitalizing on something that had been cheap, and so to my shock, it was better than I thought it would be. No, it genuinely creepy, and like I said, there are some things I don't like. It's some of that just not lazy script writing, but just too fast, like going too fast to try and wrap things up how they wanted to. But I not that I enjoy the death scenes, but I think the death scenes are like very realistic. There's anything I'm like, oh, that wouldn't happen. Because sometimes you would get that with a Halloween or a Friday 13th or something like that, where it's like, really, seriously, most of these are like, okay, yeah, I see how that happens. I see how nobody would notice that anything happening then. So, yeah. But no, I see why there's a cult following for it. And I personally would not watch this during Christmas because, well, I'm not sadistic, but no offense, Jake.
What if it's Christmas with me?
I don't know why that changes anything.
Because you're in the well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's in
then,
the well.
then I'm being forced to watch it. So, but no, I give the movie a 7.
This is my first time ever seeing the movie. It's kind of cool to go back and watch old movies. I never really had a fond appreciation for that until I really got to college and started doing film history. But ever since then, I've enjoyed going back and watching old movies that kind of, you know, spurred other influences on other newer films. And I think this is definitely one of those that really brings the slasher film genre to life. And You can definitely see it in the shots, and just kind of sets the standard for that genre today. And it's crazy to think that this came out before Halloween. I mean, like Halloween was like the apex of horror. But there's good things here. The acting not so much. It could have definitely been better, but it's fine, and not Jake fine.
Actually fine.
It was fine. It was passable. Like you were able to, it wasn't totally distracting away from the film. Like I said, I'm kind of cinematography horror, so I really like all the slow panning shots that are really personal. And this film genuinely made me feel unsettled. Just knowing that killer is up there and could just take anybody at any time. And like you guys said before, the ending not very strong, but I do like how it is left a little ambiguous, arguably. That being said, I enjoyed the film. I'd give it a 7.5.
Okay.
So Drew, what do we have to look forward to next week?
Fuck. I haven't really thought about it.
Oh, are you gonna yell at him?
Yeah, what the fuck, man? If I yelled at him, I have to yell at you.
Okay. So yell at me.
What happened? You had all week.
Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fuck this shit.
I mean, it was Christmas, like just a couple days ago.
That, and my mind really hasn't been on a whole lot today because I was mourning the death of Carrie Fisher. Moment of silence. Thank you.
Well, we gave an actual moment of silence.
I'm a little shocked by us.
Did we want to talk about Carrie Fisher?
I mean,
what
can really be said? I mean, if you're a Star Wars fan, you grew up loving Carrie Fisher because she was Leia. She was part of your childhood. She was, I don't know.
I wasn't a Star Wars fan, and I still loved Carrie Fisher because Star Wars at my house, my parents aren't big into sci-fi really, so I didn't have Star Wars accessible really. So whenever I would see it, I was interested in it, but I didn't see Star Wars for a long time. And I was always, no joke, drawn to the movie because of Carrie Fisher. I had a crush on her. I think a lot of kids did. She was just fucking gorgeous and bubbly and magnetic and kind of what you're looking for in the ideal woman. No joke. Like, it sounds like bullshit. It sounds like sappy. You're just trying to, make it a bigger deal than it is. But hearing she passed away genuinely hurt.
Yeah.
But I can only hope it was, as quick and painless as it could be.
Unfortunately, I don't think it was. She had a heart attack and it went on for 2 days, so...
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we can only hope that she wasn't coherent.
Okay.
And actually suffering. Jesus Christ. Thanks for throwing a wrench right in that. Oh, you know what, Jake? She suffered. It was terrible.
Is this going to be the last pod we get up for this year?
I don't know.
It is, because it's 4 days is the new year. So this is the last pod of 2016.
Yeah, this is it.
Fuck you, 2016.
Yeah, 2016's been a motherfucker.
A lot of good celebrities who were lost this year.
How do you take Rickman? How?
How do you take Prince? And George Michael. How am I going to wake somebody up before I go?
I was going to say, how do you take Alan Thicke and leave Robin?
Oh my God. How dare you take China and leave Hulk Hogan?
I was gonna say, you want to talk about oversized clits
Jeez.
or undersized dicks, maybe?
Wait, you did see the China porn? I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
I saw the China sex tape.
So,
It's
wait.
not good.
Wait, are you just saying? Are you saying you only saw the sex tape? I also thought you saw her She-Hulk thing.
Oh, she did a She-Hulk thing.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know how I feel about that. Horrified?
I never saw it. I thought
I
you
was gonna
said
say I masturbate to it regularly.
no. I never saw it. I thought you had said you had seen it.
No, I saw the China sex tape, not the. Wait, so she did an official porn?
Yeah, she went into porn after that.
Who would pay her to do that?
People with those fetishes.
Wow.
This has been great. We go from talking about the death
Carrie
of a legend.
Fisher. To...
Maybe we deserve this. Maybe 2016 is what we brought upon ourselves.
It's karma. All right. Well, Drew's pick.
What a bewilderingly strange ending to this pod.
Yeah. Well,
A heartfelt goodbye to Carrie Fisher, and then whatever
China's
the
sex career.
fuck that was.
Watch better movies.
Well,
God.
with Drew's pick to be determined next week. Yeah, this will be the final pod of 2016. We look forward to a good 2017.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Hopefully.
With that being said, I'll probably pick something awesome.
We'll wait with bated breath to see.
Good.
Masturbated breath. But I don't
Wait,
know.
so like, I don't even want to say.
No, I'm curious.
Off the pod. So
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
all right. Like and subscribe, share, Facebook, YouTube, Libsyn, any podcast app that you can download, iTunes, Twitter.
We
Thank
have a
you.
Twitter.
Yep. Email tjdmoviereviews@gmail.com.
Yep.
Yeah, we love word of mouth and not just regular fellatio. So,
As opposed to irregular
Yes.
fellatio.
like it's an octopus or something.
I don't know what to say.
Oh, on that note, I'm Ty.
Jake.
And I'm Drew.